So this was a storm unlike we've seen in years. Social media filled with videos from Globe showing the flooding and the destruction left behind in that small mining town east of the valley. The damage in the Globe, Miami area so bad, a state incident management team was deployed for search and rescue efforts and that massive cleanup. Tonight, a woman who had been missing was found. Unfortunately, she was found dead, and that brings the death toll there to 3. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly joins us live now from Globe with the very latest on what happened there. Chase.
Yeah, Troy, the family told me the last time they spoke to their loved one was on Friday, right before all that rain started to come down. Then yesterday, authorities recovered her car that was found destroyed in a creek. Then just a few hours ago today, the family told me rescue crews did recover her body.
We all love our mom, and we all want her home.
For close to 48 hours, Anthony Glover and his family searched for their mom, Teresa Saenz.
We're going to keep searching until we find her.
On Friday evening, Glover says she was driving in her red Chevy Camaro heading west toward the valley from Miami when heavy rain and flooding washed her car into a nearby creek. Glover says a driver behind her saw it happen and called 911. On Saturday, they found Saenz' car.
The tires are missing off it, the engine's out of it. You know, it's just totally demolished.
But Saenz wasn't immediately found. We spoke with Glover and his family Sunday afternoon as those search efforts for her continued. Then late Sunday night, they told me crews found their mother's body.
She's a good person, has a good heart, you know, she's going to be deeply missed.
Saenz now one of at least 3 people who died from this historic flooding. Another victim, 50-year-old Heather Johnson, worked as a delivery driver for Globe's local newspaper, Arizona Silverbelt Copper Country News. Tina Nixon, the paper's operations manager, telling me in a statement, Heather was a beloved member of our team for 5 years who truly cherished her community. Our thoughts are with Heather's family, who had just stood beside her as she beat cancer, making this loss all the more sudden and devastating. While there could be other missing people, officials tell us so far there are no additional reports that have been filed with Globe PD or the Gila County Sheriff. Meanwhile, Tiffany Davila with the State Department of Forestry and Fire Management says there are 150 crew members that have been called in from across the state.
We are going to work as fast as we can to make sure that search and rescue operation is completed.
A challenge they're facing is all the debris that was piled up from 65-mile-per-hour currents, including large trees and dozens of cars that were swept away.
The debris flow that came down with those floodwaters, it's catastrophic.
Hundreds of propane tanks that were stored at a facility in Globe also washed away and scattered all over.
They're in trees, they're under bridges, they're on people's properties. I mean, they're everywhere.
We watched as many were being loaded up by a crane. The smell of propane strong here. Davila says emergency crews were told not all of them were filled, but she says they are treating this as a hazmat situation.
We're working very diligently and safely to remove the propane tanks. It is going to take some time for the community to get back on its feet here.
Now, search and rescue efforts have stopped for the night, but I'm told they will continue tomorrow along with cleanup. I was also told that crews have already removed dozens of cars from the creek here. Again, that will continue tomorrow. We're live in Globe tonight. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Yeah, Chase, I couldn't believe the damage to the one woman's car that you showed us there. Were all of these victims lost by being swept off the road? I mean, 3 people dead in a rain event, obviously very unusual for our state.
Definitely. Just we heard with people driving on the roadway heading in towards the valley, a wave of water came crashing down. Of course, we were seeing the videos of the floods right here in Globe, so it could have also just been people walking in the street. We are still working to gather those additional details of how those people were swept up, but we're also waiting to find out the latest number of how many people have passed away from this flooding and also how many people are reported missing. That information we're hoping to get from the county tomorrow.
Wow. All right. Chase, thanks you for your reporting. We'll have more on that, of course, tomorrow morning when you tune in. Appreciate it, Chase.